Unbelievable.
Oh man, he's here.
Here he is. Did you? I'm super excited. I can't wait to. I already traded it back in, but I'll go buy it. I'm gonna go buy it right now.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait. What did Harada say? All right, you guys want to know what Harada whispered in my ear? You guys saw him on camera, right? Harada came up to me and he whispered something in my ear. You want to know what he said? How do you know? My bad. My bad, ninja. Oh, man. More or less, he said, beat it, kid. You guys are funny on Tuesdays, huh? Maybe I just haven't hung out with you guys in a while. Beat it, kid. That would have been too good. Eat a dick, bitch. I love Final Fantasy. Oh, man. Anyway, oh yeah, let me tell you what he said. He, verbatim, he said, I'm sorry, Aris. That's what he said. He said, I'm sorry, Aris. Because he knew I wasn't going to like it. Everyone knew. I talked to Michael Murray beforehand. I said, am I going to like it? He said, I was like, all right. Well, I knew I wasn't going to like it. Right? That's what he said. I mean, you know, that's it. And, it makes sense because it has nothing to do with me. It's not for me, right? Lots of people like it. But what are you doing? It's like Balut, right? Lots of people like Balut. I don't like Balut.
I was afraid the Namcops we are going to take you in the night after the NOCT puppy reveal Bible thump.
Hey, alright man, I'm just gonna go ahead and tune out most of these messages because it seems like you guys have been huffing tons of butt hash while I was gone. I'm noticing the messages today are lower than average, which average is very, very... You guys keep the bar low around here. So listen, Sticky 80s, baby, thanks very much. I appreciate the generosity. Move along. Move along. Thanks, man. Spaz Cow, thanks again. So did we cover everything? I mean, look, I would say that I'm not disappointed in Noctis because I had very low expectations of this character. I thought it was going to be an anime character, a character from Dragon Ball, and it might as well, it's just the same thing. In fact, maybe Noctis might be better than like Goku or something. Or even like, maybe it's better than some character from Guilty Gear 2, for me. Might be. I don't know. It depends. It could have been really bad. And if you look at the bright sides, right, which I always try to do, no way to slice it. Noctis is whack, right? Noctis is whack. I was watching the trailer. I'm watching the trailer, and it's doing the slow reveal, right? It's showing, like, first it's showing his legs, then it's showing his, like, crotch, then it's up to his fucking tits. And I'm looking at this guy, and it's past the top of this motherfucker's head, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? You know? Way past his head, and I still don't know who it is. So, obviously, it's not for me. Obviously. Couldn't have gone any higher. I still didn't know who it was. You know? Who the fuck is this guy? And then Markman, like, he was right next to me when we were watching it. He leaned, I said, hey Mark, who the fuck is that? And he leaned over and he said, from Final Fantasy 15. And I was like, well, alright. And then they showed the gameplay and he's got a sword and he's fucking, poking that shit and, upside down, poking and whatever. And I'm just thinking to myself, well, that looks really weird, right? This guy's doing all, he's got a sword, So when it cut back to me, I was like, oh shit, be cool. I don't know. Dr. Octagon. Like I said earlier, I might end up being a Noctis 100% main and a huge fangirl. I might have a picture of Noctis wall scroll up right there. Right there. You never know. From a gameplay perspective, I might like him. I'm a Soul Calibur player. What if he has a GI or some shit, right? You never know. I might like him. But as far as, let's get turned up, they just unveiled the character. Well, who the fuck is this guy, right? I mean, whatever. I had low expectation. Final Fantasy 15 was trash. I mean, It was...
Sammy, what are you doing, my friend?
Oh.
Shut up.
Hey, at least it wasn't another bear. ATP.
Yeah, you know, that's a great point. That's not a bad point. And I like your attitude. I like your attitude. It could have been another bear. I'll take Noctis over another bear. I'll take Noctis over another bear. I like your style. I like your style.
Thank you.
The fucking glass is half full. Alright? Could have been another bear. You know? Plus, he's got a sword or two. I don't even know how many swords he's got. I like his sword. We'll see. Whatever. You never know. I may end up being the biggest Noctis player, fan. I mean, he might be my main, right? But as far as me getting turned up about Noctis, I mean, I fucking returned that game so fast. I was like, immediately. I couldn't believe it. I was like,
Sammy, what are you doing, my
shocked.
friend?
The way the
Shut up.
car goes straight, and if you try to turn it, it's like,
Talk about how
you
much
know,
of a badass
and the
Bedazzle is.
tent, you know the tent they sleep in? 4 dudes are sleeping in a tent. Tiny little tent. What's going on in there? But it's no, you don't have to be a scientist to figure out why they picked that character. I mean, Final Fantasy is so much bigger than Tekken.
Thank you.
Final Fantasy, as you say that, right? You put it, you write it on the wall, Final Fantasy, and you write Tekken on the wall. Final Fantasy is way bigger than Tekken. If you go to Japan, I'm not kidding you. You may have never been to Japan.
Thank you.
You go to Japan and you walk around in the streets, like not in an arcade, you're in the streets. There are Final Fantasy posters and advertisements
Sammy, what are you doing,
everywhere.
my friend? Shut
There's
up.
a Final Fantasy
Hey,
bar.
Don't talk about Gon like that, you bigot.
Hey, I wasn't listening, but thanks. My point is, Final Fantasy is huge. Yeah, Final Fantasy Cafe. It's so big. You don't see Kazuya anywhere when you're in Japan. No matter where you go, unless you go into an arcade, you don't see Kazuya. But there are Final Fantasy pictures and posters and, what are those things called? Pachinko machines everywhere. I mean, it's a big deal, you know? So, obviously it was a good idea for them. It's just not that hype for me. But if you do look at it from that positive perspective, I already like that guy more than I like bears. Or Kuma, not
What are you
Kuma,
doing, my
True
friend?
Ogre. Any weird character size like that, I don't like
Next
that.
character, Goku. Can't wait.
That's another thing to think about. I would have put my money on it being a Dragon Ball character, right? Like Goku or some shit. Which I also would have equally not really given a shit about, right? So, I guess I'm not really as disappointed in the guest character as I am that there's no other returning characters. I wanted like Lei or someone else. It would have been sick if at the end of the trailer for Noctis, there was a stinger where you wait till the very end and he's on the phone and on the other line it's Lei. And he's like, hey, you know, don't worry, I'm bringing your Chinese food over right now. Boom. And then it's like end of the trailer, right? That would have been mad fucking hype, dude. But I was waiting for that because there was kind of like a stinger at the end. But there was nothing. That would have been sick. He's a retired cop now and he delivers Chinese food, you know, for Noctis and his 4 gay friends. I'm writing the story mode for you right now, you know. Let's not talk about it. Anyway, yeah, you know, whatever, man. I mean, I'm not that disappointed because whatever. Of course he's whack. But I'm not that disappointed because I feel like I was already disappointed in the first place. Disappointed is not the word, but I think he's whack. My hopes weren't high. That's what it is. My hopes, they were not high. I have to say that this tournament, the Global Finals in Northern California, was one of the best tournaments I've ever been to, ever. Let me tell you why. If you combine the gameplay and the excitement and what it really was, right? The end of this tour, Harada, unveiling character, everything. Okay, that's one aspect of it. Let's put that aside. It's a really big aspect because it was fucking awesome, right? But let's put that over here. It was comfortable. I mean, nice venue, air conditioned, clean. Outside patio, 10 steps away. The outside was popping like it was some kind of like, I don't know, it was like on the roof of some shit. It was really nice, beautiful view of downtown, right outside, right behind where the crowd was. The venue was awesome. There was a bar. People who wanted to get drunk, they were drunk. People who wanted to get, you know, high on butt hash, they were huffing. I mean, it was like a really, really cool venue that everyone just seemed to be able to have fun at. There were setups with geese. There were, you know, setups for casuals. It was just, and merchandise. Tons of booths of interesting shit. You know, it was really great. Overall, as an event, on top of the way the gameplay and all the action and reveals and excitement went down, just as an event, the only real hiccup was that it was late. That shit started late. And, you know, I didn't think about this because I was already inside. I'm part of the staff, but I can imagine that if you were there as a spectator, you were probably pissed, right? What the fuck gives? I'm standing in this line for hours waiting for you guys to open. So that could have been more frustrating than it appeared to me, right? But yeah, it was late because of wall scrolls. I heard about that. They had these like giant like decorations. I don't even know what else to call them, and they were putting them up like right at the end. Like, you're putting that shit up right now? Should have been done 2 days ago. The line was mad long. Yeah, see, I'm only looking at it from my perspective. Maybe to me it was super smooth and everything, but if you were a spectator, you're like, man, what the fuck? I paid money to wait in this line, whatever. So I don't know. But as far as the venue goes, it didn't smell bad. It was nice and comfortable. Lots of people seemed to be enjoying themselves. I mean, dude, if you really think about it, for an event that is just Tekken, it was just breathtaking. Because, you know, I said it on stream, but Q-Dog and I were standing outside, and we were just looking around and reminiscing about tournaments like Electric Cancel, you know, like Strong Style, or, you know, tournaments like we've been doing that for years, right? And that's what we expect. You bring the TVs, you bring the setups, you call your homies, you know, you make things happen. This shit was beautiful. I mean, there were over 1,000 people with their eyes pointed at this screen, and it was just like super awesome. It was crazy. Over 1,000 people live, not on the internet, right there. So many people just for Tekken, and they weren't there because they got there for free. They didn't like get some, you know, like, come watch Tekken, like some Conan O'Brien episode where they turn the applause sign on. This isn't some E-League crowd. This is people who spent their money and waited in line to be there. These are not like, oh, I don't have anything to do, go with guys, I'm not doing anything, there's a free event going on here, you know? These people spent their money. So it was pretty nice to see. It was really nice to see, actually, you know, because these people were all hype. I just felt like everybody got their money's worth. And then some. Pretty nice.
Thank you.
Where was I? Yeah, I took a lot of pics, signed a lot of random shit.
Thank you.
It was cool. Everyone was really nice, you know. People usually are pretty nice. I think at this point, a lot of people are kind of like, what's the way to put it? They're kind of like careful when they meet me because maybe they don't want me to talk shit or something, which is totally not the case in person. See, that there's a huge difference between while I'm sitting here on stream and I'm talking to these stoners and a real human standing in front of me. You guys are subhumans right now, all of you. And that's because you're willing to say the dumbest shit that can pop into your tiny bong water filled brain. You're willing to say it. You would never say that shit in person. So, I treat you accordingly, exactly the way you treat me. It's a two-way street, right? So in person, I'm not gonna jump down your throat, shoot you in the head, bong water everywhere. You know, that's not how it works. And I think it works out quite nicely, you know? it works out quite nicely because in person, people understand that we are humans and we have to have a normal conversation. On the internet, you know, hey, Eris, let me see your cooch. I brought my 2 eggplants, you know, and it's like, you know, it's a big difference. You can understand subhuman, regular human, right? 2 + 2 = freeze rounds. Makes sense to me.
Thanks for introducing me to Rip.
You should be, I should be apologizing to you for introducing you to Rip. Anyway, good shit, Desperado. Thanks, man. It was nice meeting you.
Thank you.
It's been a long time. It's cool meeting people, you know? It's like I said, at this point, I've gotten pretty good at meeting new people, right? I'm a pro. Damn, Joey Fury was wearing these oven mitts, and I think I'm gonna start copying that strat for handshaking purposes. You know? You shake a lot of hands. Some people are nice and they know and they give you the fist bump, right? And it's like, thanks.
Can't believe these ninja daggers are putting that emo bitch Cactus in Trekken.
Hey, thanks, Boss Battle Joe. Nobody gives a shit. Anyway, thanks very much. And Rafus #1 and Nocturnal Poison. Thanks, guys. Anyway, what the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah, I'm gonna start wearing some oven mitts or some shit to have new handshake Discord tech, so I don't have to have palm to palm with all these stoners, right? Yeah, I'm allowed to curse on commentary. I'm surprised you guys haven't figured that out yet. I mean, I do it all the time, right? I told the whole crowd to shut the fuck up at SCR. So, I'm surprised you guys are so dense that you haven't figured out that I'm allowed to curse, just like everyone else is allowed to curse. It's just that, you know, it has to be authentic, right? It has to, you can't just be like, you know, dropping the N-word and the F-bomb and just like you're Killer 6 telling a story about how you got Sherwin-Williams for some rapper in ATL. You know, I can't be talking like that, right? But it's not like censored, you know? It's not, you know, we're allowed. So that's cool. I'm down. I like that too. I like being able to feel comfortable, you know? Do your thing. Anyway, it was a great tournament. I mean, I couldn't have asked for better. I mean, there were so many points where the timeline could have gone in a really bad direction, right? Bad direction in terms of, like, here, yeah, this is Chris Segg's the boss right here. He says, the rule is, where did it go? Nothing hurtful and make it count. Which means authentic, you know, like if some shit happens and you're like, whoa, you know, you can drop the F word. It's allowed, you know, more or less. So yeah. Anyway, speaking of Chris and Hanzo Gonzo, these guys are such pros, dude. Could you imagine if this fucking tournament was ran by some schmohawks that don't know what the fuck they're doing? Like it feels like it always has been in the past, right? Historically, I feel like these types of tournaments are always ran by schmucks. And this one was sick. So smooth. So smooth. Anytime I needed a Red Bull, Hanzo, he was like the I Dream of Jeannie lady, except with worse tits. Boom! Red Bull, right there. Hanzo Gonzo. It was perfect, man. It was such a great tournament. I really, really can't say enough about it. Beginning to end. You know, it was just so sick. They're lowering the input delay too on console and on PC, which is interesting, but whatever. We'll worry about that when it happens.
Thank you.
What am I forgetting? I feel like there's something else. Oh, Geese, I didn't play him at all. Not a single game. In fact, I didn't even watch much. I was busy. I did hear a lot about him, and I'm interested in trying him. And he looks cool. From what I have seen and what I have heard, I think I could get down on that character. I'm excited to try him. He looks cool, and I've heard he's pretty cool.
3 Koreans in the top 8 on the winner side of the bracket. Tishamon, you know, formerly from Japan, now from Italy on the winner side as well. And in the bottom half, we've got Joey Fury versus Speed Kicks and Naroma versus Jimmy J. in the loser bracket.
And we got crazy. 3 American players in the losers bracket. And where you at, Europe?
Did you guys ever find out why the French guy was mad at Rip?
Yeah, okay. So okay. You know the French guy, Super Akuma, right? So I'm outside and Super Akuma comes out. he's got his feathers huffed up. He's like really fucking pumped up. And he comes up to me, he's like, you better tell Rip to cut that fucking shit out. He's gonna get fucked up. Or some shit like that. You know, he was really pissed. Sacre bleu. You know, he was into it. And I was like, damn, why are you so pissed off at Rip? You know, I'm excited. I'm about to see a fist fight. So I'm like, why are you so pissed? And he's like, no, you better, he didn't even say exactly what he said. I didn't know, right? So then I went over to Rip and I was like, hey, what did you say to that French guy? Man, that guy wants to fuck you up. And then he was, you know, I started instigating this fist fight, right? So Rip was like, what is he talking about? You know, he didn't know what he was talking about.
F-champ.
Hey, alright. So, basically, apparently, what happened was, Markman said, like, we got this many Americans and this many Asians in top 8. Where the EU boys at? Kind of like poking a jab at the Europeans, like where the Europeans at, right? Super Akuma apparently thought that that was Rip. So he was like, I don't think so. But then allegedly he found out it was Markman and white flag. What else can you expect, right? White flag. He no longer wants to fight anymore when he finds out it's a Namcop. So that's what went down, you know. I don't know if it was real, like for realsies they were gonna fight, but I was hoping for it, man. I would love to see that shit. French guy versus Rip, you know, that'd be sick. But nope, he wasn't in. Markman, I'm out. Rip, I could take him. I don't know though. That would have been a pretty even fight. We'll see. Maybe next time I can make it happen.
Oh, man. You better kill him.
Oh, he dropped it!
Oh, the low parry.
He's gonna extend. He's gonna extend with a death fist. He's running in for wake ups.
What's he gonna do with it? Oh, the Iron Mountain! Did you see that? What? The confidence, knowing that the Iron Mountain would hit.
Psychic Iron Mountain. Unbelievable decision, and it works.
They're getting bigger.
I can't believe. How's he gonna get those balls out of here?
Dude, the tournament was crazy good. Oh my god, it's almost like Tekken 7. Like, I don't know how this game manages to do that, but it naturally produces good competitive matches, and I don't know why. I don't really have a good explanation, you know? I don't really have a good explanation. We've already talked about the slow-mo, we've already talked about the rage arts and the rage and how the matches kind of come to like a climax at the end.
Your motherfucking commentary was decent. When LA Noir motherfucker.
Hey, LA Noir! I'll ask about that later.
It may have been a room full of nerds, but it was the Bay. Ergo hypers AF.
Hey, alright, Boss Battle Joe, Call Me Bigums, and Baha Moo. Thanks, guys. What was I talking about?
No, he's got the wall!
Oh, it's not
Jimmy's got rage! He's got rage!
Oh,
Wake
gets
up
a
knee!
flow.
Wake up knee!
Is he gonna go for it? Rage drive into the
so
shoulder.
much.
One more makes
him.
him to
He's
do
got
it.
time of his own. He gets
Oh
him.
my
What's gonna
gosh.
happen? Oh my god, 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 oh my
Who's
god,
gonna
oh my
get
god.
this?
Here we go, he's going in. No, he blocks the mix-up.
Anybody's match.
He gets it.
Jimmy takes
He
it.
gets it. Jimmy J. Grant is going to the top 8 of the Tekken World Tour Finals.
Man.
Oh my god. This guy is crazy.
Oh, the game producing really great matches. Can you believe that Jimmy J. Tran had to beat me and Nobi just to get into top 8 and losers?
Your commentary was legendary.
What
man.
the fuck?
Your best job to date emo. When you started roasting P-Link for his counterfeit invitation, I was laughing my love off.
I told him that shit too. At the end of the tournament, the first time I got to see him all weekend was after I watched him play. I went up to P-Link and I was like, hey man, you got fucked up. And he said, yeah, I know. I'm not even going to watch the replays. I know what I did wrong. And I said, yeah, you didn't qualify for the tournament. And then I walked away. Ooh, man, I love that kind of shit, dude. That was sweet. I can still taste it. Oh, get fucking owned. Okay. What were we talking about?
Oh my god.
Out of the air. This time going for the mids now. Oh, the side steps here from JDCR. The
Oh,
movement.
so close.
Oh, the hell sweep. Oh,
he
dropped
missed
it. That's not what you want to happen.
Back jump. This is an outrage.
Oh, the ring dart. Is that going to do it? Oh, he's killed him.
What the? I can't believe it. I can't
Oh my gosh.
believe
And he
it.
hugs knee right
I
afterwards.
cannot believe my eyes.
Still surprised JDCR lost. But I'm so freaking happy that it wasn't a Echo Fox Collusion Grand Finals.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, man. Dude, Saint kicked the shit out of Q-Dance in their first encounter. At the very end, he could have destroyed him.
Kodans was so hype, he kicked Unicorn those 3 ducks in a row just to taunt Saint in the Grand
Dude,
Final had me dying.
I don't even know what you're talking about because she pauses so much between every word. But that moment where Q-Dance had beaten JDCR, then Saint played against him, and Saint destroyed him with Jack. Then, later on, when he went to fight Saint again, the feeling of there's no way Q-Dance is going to beat Saint was on everyone's mind. How was he going to beat Saint after he got fucked up like that against Jack? Blowouts.
What up, bitch? Great job at the finals. You really outdid yourself. I'm proud of you, son.
Thanks, Dad. Yeah, that was on everyone's mind. How the fuck is this guy gonna beat Saint? How's he gonna beat Saint? He got blown out. And he did. He beat Saint.
What are you doing, my
It was
friend?
amazing.
Don't tell me how to drive.
We're all lucky it wasn't an Echo Fox Grand Final, dude. That would have been awful. It was starting to look like it was gonna be an Echo Fox Grand Final. Cause like I said, Q-Dance got fucked up by Saint, and then it was a double Jeopardy match, and JDCR fucking, you know, this was like gonna happen. This was like, it was so rough. It was so close. It was so close, but it ended up being perfect, which made the perfection of the way it ended up even sweeter, because it was so close to going the other way, you know? It was so close to being all Echo Fox or whatever, but Q-Dance just pulled through. He's good. And he's just like fun to watch and everything. The whole, like, the picture, top to bottom, was awesome. Anyway, oh shit, what did Harada whisper into your ears again? Thanks for the 2420. And Rururu, thanks very much, and Colonel Panic. Thanks, guys. Yeah, he said, I'm sorry.